Dear God in heaven, please don't let me ever wear a yellow hoodie.com. Ladies and gentlemen,
bam,
boys and girls, bass players included, we are here at the Riffs and Rhythms podcast. My name is Kevin McLaughlin, and this is
Paul Robertson, and here we go, folks. Let's
do it!
Right, so we are back in this episode here, so it's good to be back. A lot of going on here. Man, 2025...
2025 is the year that the yellow hoodie arrives.
woohoo!
Oh, I thought we were going to go with your
Yellow
the moniker that you've coined.
I have coined a
Yeah.
moniker, but I couldn't not recognize this amazingly loud and visually offensive.
Yeah, it's 2025. If I go deer hunting, I'm still alive because you could.
I promise you will not die in an open field with that thing on.
Hunters don't go towards the yellow. They really don't. They go towards, they stay away from the orange. Yeah, they don't look at the
you
yellow.
could ambush someone if you came from the direction of the sun. That's for sure.
I really am. I think most of this is you guys are just hating. Okay, so stop. And that's really what it is. Okay, it's like reverse. Like
Yes, I am
like
hating
when
you because there's no way I could look as gay as you with a yellow sweater on.
Y'all need Jesus. So anyway, so we're back this week here, and we have a returning guest here. You already heard him chime in there. So Kevin Kelly is back on the podcast, bass player extraordinaire.
What's up, y'all? How you doing?
So did you have fun last week?
I had a blast last week, and you know what? Still just a little bit hungover, but that's okay because I'll get over
last week.
Damn,
It had to be last
it.
night.
It's been it was.
He's a week long, he's got a
it's
week-long
been quite a
hangover.
while. Listen, we are Irish. We've got Kevin, and Paul.
That's right. And Devin.
And, secretly still hungover. We're not telling people about it, but it happens. All right.
So you're confessing or coming out that you were a functioning alcoholic.
Yeah. Well, we just needed to
No,
make
functioning.
it louder.
No, I'm sorry. I mean, you're a functioning Irishman.
Yeah, functioning Irishman. And this is how it works. This is how it works, folks. And if you're not Irish, don't even try it.
You don't understand.
You don't get it. Hi, everybody. How
Yeah.
you doing? Glad to be here.
Yeah, so we talked last week about some of the project you're working on. You're busy. How many? I don't think we talked about how many nights a week are you performing in whatever form or fashion.
A lot of nights a week. I try to work 5 nights a week. That's sort of my goal. Like, if you're a full-time musician, it's almost like you want to be like a full-time plumber. You want to work Monday through Friday. But for musicians, you work on the weekends.
Well, there's certainly no sexual inferences worked in with the plumber thing.
Well, we definitely have plumber's butt.
That's called gig butt.
Yeah, gig butt. That's right. But it's so
There's
close.
gig butt. It comes from the lack of the ability to take a shower
Yeah.
and sweating down your back all
Crack.
afternoon with the.
Crack kills.
We try to
Chef.
be, trust us, we try to be as clean as we can, but it doesn't always happen.
Facilities are not always available.
Yeah.
Yeah, we found out last week that it's only the right bathroom to use on the road.
Yeah,
That's true.
The beaver bathroom.
We don't want to use the other part. That's not our spot. It's not our
Yeah, there's the
safe.
There's the bathroom for people with a yellow sweater, and then there's the bathroom for everyone else.
That's the one in the middle.
Yeah,
Gender neutral bathroom.
yeah, the sweater neutral bathroom.
Isn't that what they do with yellow, right? They don't do when they do their baby showers. It's pink or blue, and sometimes the yellow is. If you don't know if you don't know in advance what the sex of the baby is, if you wanted to know,
I didn't know it was yellow.
yeah,
and
yellow's
if
a
you
thing.
notice, if you look at a rainbow, yellow is exactly in the center of the rainbow, which means it is the core of non-binary identification.
Oh,
Thank you,
It's
Paul.
as neutral as you could possibly be.
It is the core of non-binary.
Thank you, fucking
identification.
Bill Nye, the guitar guy.
Yes, and I totally made that up.
It sounded almost plausible. So
It sounded good.
Completely
Yeah.
scientific.
That's-
99.7% of all statistics and facts are made up on the spot.
see,
Everything's true if you say it confidently enough.
yeah. Well, yeah,
you go.
yeah, and people are using AI to make up new shit. Well, I've got it right here.
New shit.
No, my intelligence is not artificial. It didn't take much to build it up. That's why I know.
Yeah,
Little do the viewers know, this whole podcast is AI generated.
No, this is
We're breaking the programming
This
right
is
now.
why. This is why
No.
AI is terrible.
disclaimer. There is no intelligence involved with the production of
Yeah,
this.
there was no.
podcast.
There was, but there
Artificial
were.
or natural.
There are a
There's
few
none.
brain cells harmed, though.
Many brain cells have been mercilessly mowed down during the process of this.
So yeah. So what's been going on, Kevin? Since
Dude,
anything
I've been
new?
so busy. I've just been working all the time, as many nights as I can, as many as my agent gives to me.
Good.
All right,
good.
so I've known you for a long time, and I've been wanting to know this question. How are those tires?
How are the what?
The tires. Remember
Those
last
tires.
week?
Last week you got some tires.
Oh, yeah, hell yeah.
Are they rolling smooth?
Are rolling smooth, smoother than
Sweet.
I've ever had. They're the smoothest
Smoother
tires.
than you've ever had.
My tires are like butter.
Were they slicks?
That's all I'm saying.
Oh my,
Did you do all 4 at once?
that's getting sexy.
Totally.
Oh, he did 4 at once.
Whoa.
Listen, if there were 5,
And he,
Oh,
and
look
he-
at that. And that's coming from a bass player.
and he
That
put
is
this
uncommon.
and he put that spare right in the trunk.
that's why I say there's 5.
You must have a little Italian in you then.
You should see what happens in the trunk.
Oh, that's what she said.
That costs extra.
So all of this together equates to good gigs.
Good.
And all everything's good. Coming from the bass player, that's saying a lot.
Pin drop.
Is there a pin drop sound effect?
That
we
should
could
have
put
been,
in there
yes.
in post.
Yeah.
Because that was
Make Mar-
perfect. All
make
the
note
gates
of it.
shut off. Coming from the bass. I'd like to say we have an awesome video and audio tech. Devin, you totally rock. Thank you so much.
Thanks. Subscribe to Ghost on the Aux.
And
That's
by
right,
the
yeah.
way,
Yeah.
Devin is AI generated. Yeah. There's no question about it.
That's why he doesn't have a camera.
Just a
He
voice.
is the.
I'm the Ghost on the Aux. You don't get to see me.
There you
That's
go.
right. But you can see him if you actually go to Ghost on the Ox.
Yeah, you get to see me there.
You know what? If Devin were wearing yellow, I bet we would see him.
We could see him from space if he was wearing this abomination.
Oh boy, this is going to be one of those shows. Yeah, it's the second show. So buckle up, Gavin, because the second show is usually the wild one. So if you thought last week was wild, it's only going to go downhill from there. So
When they hired me here, they told me that their last producer didn't talk enough, and I think they made a mistake by letting me talk too much.
Yes, because it's never confusing when there's a voice with no face, and we're all just looking to the side.
Yeah, I'm following along perfectly.
That's great.
So as a bass player and musician, do you play any other instruments?
Yeah, guitar, piano, trumpet, drums. That's about it.
Ooh, we have a riffer and a rhythmer.
He does it all. He does it all, ladies.
He goes both ways.
That's right. I go many ways.
He goes back and forth between the riff and the rhythm.
But when I write songs and I record in my home studio. I have a little Pro Tools rig, and I just use whatever I can to make the song sound cool.
Okay.
The only thing I don't have is a drum set.
You got a few laying around.
That's what I need in my house. Otherwise, it's all generated through my laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, but you know what? The limitations that we experience as musicians are the heart of our style. right? Because if you could play anything, if you were a completely schooled musician and you could play anything you wanted in the style of anyone, then your music would become completely soulless. It would become identity free.
Right.
In my opinion, it's it's the solutions that we come up with to accommodate our limitations that define our style.
Right. And how you overcome it and what you do artistically to make that happen.
Yeah. So like if you're an artist who is lamenting the fact that he doesn't have a drum set in his studio, like hit the wall and record that. Like make that your sound.
Oh, heck yeah. I mean, John Bonham did it. He went... You know, that's a Led Zeppelin song, literally.
Did he play his legs on the album? No, he did
No,
not.
I think he played a chair.
Did he seriously?
Yeah. Yeah, he did. Trying to think of the Led Zeppelin song that it's documented that he played an inanimate object that wasn't a drum.
Well, hopefully he wasn't beating humans the whole time.
One of my
Although that would make it so much more cool. It was so much better rock and roll. Like if we're
Butt bongo.
we're beating literal serfs. They're English, so they were hitting serfs with sticks to make the drum sound.
Hold on, Devin's doing some research here. He's fact
No,
checking.
I was gonna say one of my favorite little facts, like little trivia facts. My favorite artist, Deadmau5, electronic producer. But one of the things that he probably still does, he said in a Q&A like a long time ago, is what he does to get really natural claps is he literally took an SM58 or 57 and just recorded the sound of him smacking his own ass and then used that in his tracks for natural clap sounds.
There is no better sound.
Exactly. And I did the same thing. I took that idea and did that for a project I was doing.
Yeah, all right. I didn't even know that part.
There is no better sound than the sound of an open palm against a butt cheek. And let me tell you, there is no better sound.
Paul, do you have any comments on that?
No,
Okay.
I'm not going there.
Just a second. I was just going for the yellow just a little bit because,
We're still going there?
yeah, I'm only going there because he might
Because my
know.
eyes are hurting.
We're gonna make him change clothes mid-episode.
I told you guys what the alternative is. You keep it up. Don't threaten me with a good time.
Yeah, there you go.
So are you a big gear guy?
No, not really. I'm more of a less is
Simplistic.
more. I'm more of a lo-fi guy. Like what we were just talking about that,
Right.
and that works. It works over a mic in the audience. It actually translates to a rhythm that an audience would get. It's not exactly a drum, but it's a thing that creates a rhythm. And so, in the absence of having a drummer, then you do it yourself. That's what I do in my home studio. And I do have a vocal booth, and I do have a lot of other different instruments that I can create the sounds that I want. But drums, I do not have.
But that is not a limitation.
No.
It's just an obstacle. Well, I shouldn't say it's not an obstacle. It's just limitation. And if you work around that limitation, you can create shit that is just all you.
That's true.
Like your left palm against your own left butt cheek will have its own unique smack sound. And I'm not trying to be weird. Like you could just like
Forget it. We were way
That's
past
not
it.
weird
Yeah.
at all.
Bump your elbow against your bathroom wall, and that's got a unique sound. Like that could be the kick drum sound. Like the people who have spent the time to overcome horrible limitations
Or the jerky wall.
are the ones that have really created the most greatness in
That's
the
right.
recording industry.
That's right. That's right. It's, according to your needs. You just fix it. Do what you have to do.
It's the weirdest thing because the most unlikely things will create the most coolest sounds.
So this just kind of reminded me was we had went to this show in West Palm called the Drum Review. And one of the parts of it, it's like a performance show. There's drum parts, different kind of percussion type things. And through the performance, they talked about was like, hey, one of the things was they brought a rack of pots and pans. Because that's every drummer's, supposedly, it started off in pots and pans, right? You know, supposedly. But then they had the kids playing buckets and, you know, so different things that, to Kevin's point, there may not be a actual drum set, but there's ways to produce percussion to replace, you know, an actual instrument, you know.
Yeah. It's cool.
So that's something. If it's something that interests you, I'll definitely check it out when they have the next show going on, Drum Review. So it's pretty cool.
You can do a whole extensive. You can do an entire show.
Yeah.
Just on pots and pans.
Yeah. So.
Well, I mean,
What if?
percussion, just take anything and hit it against anything else, and that is percussion. So, like, why do you want to be as mundane as taking a piece of wood and hitting it against a snare? Or, like, the 5-piece drum set? Like, why would you be that predictably mundane?
Speaking of that, can I shout out a band? I want to shout out local Treasure Coast reggae band, Enjoy. My friend's the bass player in that. Enjoy has...
Still Pete?
Huh?
Is that still Pete?
What?
Pete?
No, my friend Keith.
Oh, Keith. Okay.
My friend Keith is the bass player. I don't know everybody in the band, so I don't know who that is you're mentioning.
Enjoy.
But Enjoy. They have 3 percussionists.
They're a great band.
They have a drummer, traditional drummer, and then they have a guy on, I don't want to call it bongos because I don't know if that's what it is, but it's hand drums. And then they have a third guy that does like shakers and
Other percussion.
and other
yeah.
other hand percussion instruments, and it all comes together. It's so nice. It's awesome.
Nice.
Enjoy's a great band.
Love that.
Yeah, so just like hitting shit. It's great.
Come on, hit that.
You gotta hit it.
When it's coordinated.
Well,
Exactly. That's
Well,
the key.
The rhythm is key. If you can hit anything in a rhythmic manner.
Oh boy. Yeah. What BPM music do you put on, Kevin?
Do not come.
Apparently my BPM is a little slow at the
Yeah.
moment.
You not listen to Slayer.
128 for me.
Yeah, so there's that. There is all of that, all the above that we've been talking about.
What type signature, Devin?
Usually 4/4.
Oh, you're not doing any swinging?
I'm not going there.
Oh, hell yeah.
Actually, I got
There's
one.
got to have some swing.
Now that I understood what you were saying, I do hear it listen to 3/4. That's the BPM. It's not the beats per minute, but 3/4 is
Measure.
the time signature.
Yeah.
All right. There's a band called Asleep at the Wheel. They are Texas swing. They are from the Bob Wills and the Texas Playboys genre. Super fun. You can actually literally dance to it, and it is Texas. Texas swing, and it's like I think that all of the a lot of the country genre came from that. It wants to be what that is, and the band Asleep at the Wheel is keeping it going. They've got maybe like 9 or 10 people in the band. They've got like 3 violinists, pedal steel guy, couple guitarists, bass player, drummer, percussion guy. It's a big deal for if you aspire or you like to listen to Texas swing. It's actually a lot of fun. And I've been listening. I've gotten turned on to Asleep at the Wheel, and they're still flipping going. So they do a great job at continuing that genre. And that is one that I really love, and I've bought 3 CDs now for them.
So, do you think when they were starting out, how they felt about the average gig money that apparently everyone gets $400 for. Oh, hey, there's 12 of us in the band. We're splitting $400.
Yeah, 10 guys,
That's when you know you're playing for the want to be in the music, right?
Yeah, for the love.
Yeah.
And they really were continuing the tradition of Texas swing, and that was like such a big thing, especially for Texas. But what's happened is country as part of country, not modern country, because it's different. It's moved on to different things,
Right.
but the Texas swing part is still in some of the country, and it still takes gets a huge portion of fans.
What do they refer to as like, how close the swing, by playing something that you can go from a swing to a shuffle just by shifting, the timing or something,
Yeah, it's a very minute difference, but there's a difference between a 12/8 feel, a blues swing feel, a country feel, a 3/4 feel, a shuffle feel, like a southern rock shuffle as compared to a swing feel. There are all
so
like slight differences, and they're differences that cannot be notated. They just have to be known, and you can say it like it, you can write it out as a 12/8 feel, but he'll say country shuffle, and those are completely two different things.
Yeah, and blues does it too.
Yeah.
I mean they kind of morph.
And they're so close.
Yeah, they're close.
so close.
And you know it when you hear it. You just know
Yeah.
it because musicians, and it's more difficult to play it because you have to understand the technical aspects of that instead of ding, 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 ding. There's a lot of
It's less of something that can be known, and it just has to be something
Felt.
that is felt.
yeah.
got it.
Because the difference between a jazz swing, a country shuffle, a southern rock swing, and a 12/8 feel, they are so close on the ruler that the difference can't be seen. But if you try to play them all at the same time, it's a train wreck. Right? It's just the subtlety of just a gray area. It's so finite. But
And your band has to know this.
but
That's
it's
the thing.
so it's so different.
What 3/4 are you playing? Oh, I'm playing this.
I'm playing the swing.
Yeah,
Playing
no,
the
I'm
shuffle.
Yeah.
The difference can't be measured unless you're listening.
Yeah. And yet there are artists who know exactly, precisely.
Yeah. What's the so?
Yeah.
So speaking of listening, so we
So we've got a rising star here,
Yep.
like the shining sun of
Yeah.
Florida.
yeah.
We want to have the Reach Solar review of Florida original music going on right here.
Yeah, so this is The Haunt. They're South Florida band. So they've got a good bit of groundswell. So this is a song here called Blood Red Heart. This came out they've dropped this on YouTube about 11 days ago from obviously, and so it's fairly recent. So, and
So we want to fill Kevin in.
Yep.
We review songs, and the way we review them is we decide if it is the riff or the rhythm that makes the song good. Cool. So it doesn't matter if it's a good or a bad song. It just matters if it's the riff or the rhythm, or maybe the red stockings.
Yep. So, South Florida band quartet. The Haunt is a pop band who rock hard, or rock band who will get stuck in your head all day. It's centered by vocalist Anastasia Grace and guitarist Max Haunt. The band has been turning heads with both their repertoire and energetic live shows. So, yeah. So let's give this a listen here. I know I'm having a little trouble.
He's
just
having
speaking.
trouble reading it because the brightness of his sweater is blocking his view of the words there. Crank it up.
This face of mine, I can barely recognize. Waste all my time trying to
She's cool.
Yeah, she reminds me of a Flyleaf. It sounds great.
Yeah, man.
The recording is well done.
That's the Nirvana drum part. That's Dave Grohl.
Yep. Ba-ba-da-boo-ba,
These guys are doing good. She's got her own heart out. Survive.
Is that a shuffle? Sorry.
Yeah, so for those of you listening, this is the video is very interesting here, depicting this song here. So definitely check out their video on YouTube. Is that guitar shaped like a heart?
It is. So in playing that guitar, he's got his heart on.
Oh, that's it. The
It
end.
was just a dream.
Yeah. Oh, all right.
That was nice. I
my.
love
Yeah.
that.
That was a well-recorded
Yeah.
song.
So
Good
very-
job.
So yeah, they just trying to unpack. You know, there's a lot.
There's a lot there. I was really caught up in the video more than analyzing the song.
Of course you were.
Because she was pulling her heart out.
That's
for
right.
us.
Poor girl.
She poured her heart out into this song.
No, she
So-
wasn't pouring it out. She was literally cutting it out with a saw,
And all these other things.
yanking it out from the saran wrap.
So, yeah. So, we'll give you first here, Kevin. What's your first impressions here? What do you think is what signifies in that song? Is it more of a rhythm song? Is it more the riff?
I definitely felt the rhythm first. I felt the groove, definitely.
Okay. Ooh, is that the first time we've heard somebody drop groove in there?
It is. It is.
Yes, we've had people mention melody or harmonies, and but since we're focusing on the riffs and rhythm, so we'd say then obviously rhythm then for you, Kevin. So what do you think there, sir?
I agree. It's the rhythm.
Yeah, and I'm exact. We'll go all three, right? Yes, and I think and Kevin mentioned it. It sounded a little bit like a little bit of a Nirvana kind of drum, parts that were going in that song, and
Like if Dave Grohl were in that band, I would not be surprised. 'Cause
Okay.
That's what it reminded me of.
Yeah.
so if you didn't see the video and didn't know who this was and just listened and said other than it's like Dave Grohl plays on like everyone's albums,
Yeah.
right? And that's how he ends up knocking up people and fathering children out of wedlock. But yeah.
Oh, had I known, I could have just booked some studio time.
Sure, yeah, he's available. He's
Oh, there you go.
I'm kind of interested what you guys think of this because I think a lot of poppier songs, for me, it's like the vocal is like the main thing over riff or rhythm or groove or anything with a lot of pop type stuff. Like the vocal is its own aspect that's kind of driving it. For me, sometimes it depends. It varies song to song, and I wouldn't necessarily say this is one of those in particular, but that's something that I run into as my issue with. I almost need to listen to it without the vocals in it because it's like distracting from the rest of what's going on musically.
Well, I hear exactly what you're saying, but when I listen back in my memory to the vocals, it's like na 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 na, and that's the same as the chord was.
Yeah, makes sense.
Is the guitar and the vocal are doing the same
True.
groove?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tim talked about that a couple weeks ago, was how with the song by the Truck Stop Hooligans was the vocals and the guitar were in sync with the riff. Remember, he kind of explained, he made a great explanation on how, his, and what he thought about this song that we reviewed the previous time, and was because the singing and the guitar parts kind of was in the same kind of thing. So
Cool.
But yeah, so who would you think, Devin, this kind of hearing this song reminds you of, or kind of familiarity?
I'm the wrong person to ask that question
Okay.
too. I don't know.
Sounds
Well,
like
we've
jazz.
already established that it's the Nirvana vibe.
Yeah,
I could say that. Yeah. I
Yeah,
guess.
because it's
a
definitely
little
a
teen
it's-
spirit.
Yeah.
But
It's a poppy,
It's cohesion.
Great
It's
song.
cohesion as opposed to syncopation.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And I really think, coming from a bass player, drummer, guitarist perspective, that engine was really kicking. It was a boom, boom,
driving. Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. Like the audience just immediately would get into it.
Yeah.
And the fact that the gal singer is so talented, and what she puts on top of that just takes it to another level above that. So I loved it.
I'm looking forward to kind of getting a little bit further into more of their music and learn more about them. They're a South Florida band. I'm sure they're probably I'm just through watching the video. Her performance alone, right, it probably is a very much a energetic type of show. Yeah.
Anyone who's willing to get themselves wrapped in saran wrap and then cut out their own heart.
That's hardcore, man.
That's like Mick Jagger, Rolling Stones kind of stuff. It's like
I was wondering
legendary.
if that was like a reference to the show Dexter. You ever seen that? That's what he does.
Although,
Wraps up
I
with this
did
cellophane.
notice that she was handing out a heart that was far larger than would ever fit in her teeny little rib cage.
Hey, sometimes people have big hearts.
Yeah. Well, there's the message. She's got a big heart.
That's right. That's why it's bleeding red heart.
Love it.
So, all right, there. So that was the Reach Solar Rising Star. What'd you call it? Sorry, I'm blowing it already.
Yeah, the band we're reviewing.
Yes. Okay. I was just tying back to our
I
sponsor.
was trying to get good at it. The Reach Solar Rising Florida Stars Sunlight of Awesomeness band that we're looking at.
Sun Bright.
Yes.
Very bright.
That's it.
Reach Solar track review.
It's like the Parker Solo Probe, Solar Probe.
Yeah, there you go.
Which is a great satellite, by the way.
The Parker Solar Probe has survived far longer than everybody ever expected it to.
It should say on the back of your sweatshirt.
It's because it's because his hoodie is absorbing all that energy and blinding us in the process.
From a distance, it kind of looks like a Gadsden flag with the yellow with the green. The don't tread on me.
On the back?
Yeah.
From a distance, the front looks like that.
Oh, that.
Because of the green on the yellow. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
It looks
Isn't that
like it's
New Hampshire?
It looks like I'm going to Publix and picking up a lemon cake. Not a cheesecake.
A lemon rum Paul cake.
Not a beefcake.
I got your beefcake right here.
A lemon rum Paul cake.
All right, so
There you
yeah,
go.
so well, thanks for Kevin for joining us in the review there. So again, it's a little something there as we're trying to. Oh boy, my head's too big for the hoodie. So
your headphones.
Apparently.
Yeah. So, well, cool. So,
That was
interesting.
awesome.
Yeah.
I love that video.
Yeah, the song
and I
was
love
great.
that
The
band.
video was great. It's
Yep.
worthy of good reviews all the way around.
Yeah. So, if you're an audio listener here, check out their video on YouTube there.
But we need to be definitive. No
Yeah.
mishy-mashy about this.
What's up?
I vote the rhythm.
Yep. I'm Rhythm.
Rhythm.
Yep.
Rhythm.
Devin?
Rhythm.
Yes.
Rhythm.
Rhythm.
All right. So
There you go.
Slash vocal.
Okay.
And she was good.
Slash vocal.
So,
I don't think Slash was involved in this
No.
production.
No.
I didn't see a top hat.
Well, the more I thought about what I was saying earlier about vocals, that when you guys were talking, I started thinking about it more. And I think it's just like with certain genres, the vocal is like the main thing that they want people to walk away from it remembering.
always. Yeah, most
So
of
it's
the
kind of the most forward thing.
Yeah.
But I think a lot of other genres don't do that in the same way that like poppy stuff does.
Yeah, correct.
And I don't mean poppy in like a, I know some people see that in an insulting way. I don't mean that in an insulting way. I just mean it as a appealing to wide audience type of way.
Right. Like I said, we'll dive into a little bit more of their catalog to see how some of the other songs are. And again, that's one representation.
Yeah, so
right.
there's a subject of an entire episode is how does genre affect the mixing of the song? Which is a thing. It's a big thing. Because if you're mixing instrumental music, you don't want the vocals too loud. And that's a ridiculous thing, but it kind of, if you're doing a song that accentuates the horns, you don't want the floor tom too loud. Like, a lot of stylism goes into not just the song, but the way that the song is mixed.
Yeah. Heck yeah. And they do things that are at a distance. Like you want to hear strings from far away, or you want to hear the drums not in your face, like boom, boom, bap, boom, boom,
Right,
boom, bap.
and that may change during the song.
Yeah.
So like, and you can take a song without remixing it. Wait. You could take a song without re-recording it, and you can remix it, and then it's a different style.
Yeah. Heck yeah. You can take stuff out. You can just, I don't want the trombone in there. Get the trombone out.
That's
know
what
what I
she
mean?
said.
Exactly.
So real quickly, you just triggered my thought. There was talking about
trombone.
not so much a trombone, but was removing that part was the apps they have now where you can remove certain parts of instruments.
Stem splitters.
What?
Like a stem, something that separate the stems.
Yeah. Stems being the different
Stem
parts.
splitters. Yeah.
Different parts, different
There's
tracks.
the AI. They're actually
It's
doing a
AI.
lot of AI stuff with that.
Actually, it sounds
Yeah.
like a video
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Stem splitters.
Well, that's actually it's funny you're bringing that up, Paul, because they earlier in 2024 Apple made a big deal about that being a new thing coming to Logic. Is like you can input any track and this plugin that they have or whatever can intelligently split everything
Everything
into
out. Wow.
Maybe not. I mean, if it's like a really complicated piece, maybe
Right.
it won't be every single thing, but it'll at least be like drums and
Yeah, well, that's been
guitar
clear
and
because for
vocal and-
years
That's
we've actually quoted the Rick Beato channel here, and
Love that guy.
That the whole what makes this song great.
Yeah.
That guy presses a button and he's got isolated tracks. So the technology that brought that to light was the video game. What was it? Rockstar or Guitar Hero? Guitar Hero.
Guitar Hero, yeah.
Guitar
It would have
Hero.
to
For
be.
the first time in our lives, we heard our favorite guitar tracks sans guitar,
Yeah,
right?
right.
And so programmers found a way to hack analog recordings and plus or minus individual instruments.
Right. Without
And-
buying
and-
the rights.
And that was like when did that happen? 20 years ago?
Yeah, at least, yeah.
Yeah.
So the fact that Rick Beato can sit down and press the space bar and erase everything except the freaking awesome guitar solo or the floor tom or whatever. I mean, that's how it is.
Right. And you hear it exactly what it is.
It was the exact recording.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's cool.
And you can some of the times you can hear when the drug dealer opens the door and says, "Oh shit, I got some coke for Steve."
You're like, get back.
Yeah. Yeah, it's seriously in there. I'm not being weird.
Well, we've talked
Dude,
on
I'm
this,
recording.
and we've talked
Exactly.
we've talked on the show about the Beatles song, the one that they released last year, about the remixed using technology to kind of improve from a tape cassette or whatever to recording.
Yeah, that came with a lot of blowback.
Right.
Because there was a certain bit of AI involved in reproducing somebody's voice who is no longer alive.
I didn't know there was AI involved with what you're talking about, but that does not sound good. And it sounds like a super challenge for a computer to replace a human.
Oh,
Now-
hey, AI. Write me a Beatles song that's going to make $1 billion that's never been written yet. Kaboink, and now we're all rich. And that's the problem with AI.
Yeah.
So I wonder though, in that this particular example is, could that have been done just with any old similar thing? Let's say it's an unknown artist group that other than the Beatles. So,
For sure. Yes, and yes. Yes, and yes.
Okay, so hold on. Let me finish, Counselor. Is because if it was AI, what group more than anything would AI have been trained on? The Beatles. You know what I'm saying? The catalog, the songs, the distinctness. There's so much of it. And of course, it's the Beatles. Now, could you have done that with some lesser known band that may not have the same catalog or that stuff that the AI would have been trained on?
You know what you guys need to mess with? Even you should do it on the show maybe one day. Have you ever heard of Suno AI?
No.
Suno is specifically for music, generating music, AI music, generated music. You can type in a prompt on what you want a song to be about, and I think you can put in other parameters like genre and certain other things like feel and all these things.
Right.
And it'll take a couple of minutes, but it'll spit out a couple of variations of a track that it just completely made from scratch, AI generated with vocal, with music, and sometimes they are actually very good. And it's kind of scary.
So the first word that comes to mind in this scenario is plagiarism.
Yeah. It's a good one.
But so in a cynical, dystopian future, why don't we look at does anybody remember the Lost Lennon tapes?
Yes, but I don't remember what was on it.
So the Lost Lennon tapes were basically John Lennon banging away on his spinet piano with his demos with a cassette recorder. All right, and so you hear a lot of the beginnings of the best Beatles songs
At home,
at
in
home
in his robe,
Yeah.
playing on that
and you hear
big
the
white
dog
piano.
barking, and he's
Yeah.
trying to say, "I'm trying
Yeah.
to say strawberry fields. Get away from me! I'll feed you later."
Strawberry, woof, forever.
And that's what made it so cool, because it's a horribly sounding, out of tune piano in John Lennon's breakfast nook,
Yeah.
and Yoko going, "Do you want eggs or what?" and he's creating awesome music,
Yeah.
right? And so now we have the ability to take a AI and pretend like we've made those and generate songs that John Lennon never even thought of.
Oh, heck yeah.
That aren't even John Lennon, that can be projected with his actual dogs interrupting and with his actual wife interrupting and with his actual voice. And now we have plagiarism at the most advanced level ever.
Yeah.
So I don't know, how do you make the distinction of what Devin's talking about, that is whatever that app has been based off of and trained on to build.
Right.
Where is the plagiarism? I hear what you're saying, but it's like there's so much of a amalgamation of all of that.
Yeah, but have I created art, or did I press a button?
Okay.
Yeah, you pressed the button.
So I go back to, and Devin, this is about rap, right? Remember that was such a big thing in the 80s and 90s about sampling.
Right, but they were taking sounds and reusing them. They were creating art. They were doing new things with it.
Recontextualizing.
So, but they're creating something new.
They were creating. That's the point.
Well, I'll argue this because I'm trying to really have a little bit of a push-pull here is, would you not say that if by me pushing a button, I'm creating something also? It didn't create itself.
Nobody in the 80s was able to press a button that said, I want you to utilize pre-recorded music and create an entirely new genre, and I want you to call it hip-hop. Nobody did that. That wasn't possible back then. That was that. If someone did that at that point, like, people would have driven north from Georgia and shot them all.
It would have been
And I would
witchery.
be in the motorcade.
Sorcery.
I am telling you. But now people are doing that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how about this? ChatGPT, make me a song that sounds like Steven Tyler, that has musical elements from Southern rock, that is going to be popular and make that sound like today's rap music, and then poof.
Yeah, it would probably.
That's not creativity. That is utilizing someone else's program.
Yeah, get that from there. Get that from over there. Pick that from there. Pick the vocalist from him. Get Joe Perry from the guitar sound from Aerosmith, and then turn that into a modern hit song. How the hell do we do that? Humans don't do it. It's only computers.
I have been a part of musical artist seminars. I've attended some seminars, and I've attended some seminars from some great gurus who can give you advice on how to not be a dumbass in the music industry. Okay, and so one of the questions at the end of the Q&A was like, I'm an AI artist. Okay, red flag. What about AI artists? And the response was, well, if you're not actually composing your own music, you're not an artist. So there are already people out there that consider themselves an artist when they say, make me a song that sounds like the Rolling Stones is going to sell me a million copies. And poof, they consider themselves an artist. That is just that is gross.
Wow.
That is disgusting, and it is how do I define that?
Where's the line though exactly? Because there's plenty of people who use AI to create a piece of a broader thing, and they create everything else. But they use AI for, I don't know, maybe they use AI for drums, and then they compose everything else.
And then it turns into like
That's
a sampling
valid
thing.
point, because I'm no better in my own opinion, because what I did was I took what Eric Clapton did, and I took what Jeff Beck did, and I took what all the guitar players of the 60s did, and I copied them, and I used my
Ooh, he used KI.
AE.
Kevin
I
Intelligence.
used my KI.
KI.
And I took what I learned from them and I made something that I thought was new, but it was probably lame.
So it's
Not
still
lame.
So how is that any different? That's the question, and that is what is going to make creativity a giant question mark in these new times.
But it came from a human.
Does that matter?
Yeah, it does matter. And I think that if you go to the store and you want to buy bread and you get bread off the shelf, it was made from a human or through the
How do you know
human
that the
process.
bread you've eaten your entire life was made by a human?
I think that I would know.
How do you know?
I don't know. I just know
What's
by
the
feel.
difference between AI
it feels
bread
human.
and person bread?
And it doesn't feel like digital bread.
I would be willing to instruct you that the bread you've been eating for the last 30 years has no humans have ever touched it.
I doubt it. I
am-
think there would be
I am
human
quite sure
involved
of
in that.
that.
Yeah, but look at the movie The Matrix, right?
Yeah.
Now,
That's
like, when was the last time a car you drove was made by a human?
Probably it was
In the 70s.
co-created by humans.
All right, I think you're
define
not-
built versus design and created.
Design and
co-created.
created.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Co-created. Designed for sure by humans.
I would say
With the aid of
manufactured.
Except for the Tesla,
computer-aided
except for the
design.
Cybertruck.
Like, you can't even piss without a computer. Just get over it.
That's
yeah,
true.
the lines
That's
are
true.
blurry,
That's
especially
true.
when you're talking about designing something like that, because there's all the technology that goes into like the aerodynamics and everything designing a car.
the shit
like,
in your kitchen is CAD design. So
Yeah, that's true.
you can't even store food without a fucking computer,
That's
you gay
true.
ass bass player.
Thank God he's moved off of
Have you,
me to now.
have you updated your kitchen in the last 20 years?
like
How to
you're
get-
sitting in.
It was made by computers.
How do you get your bass player off the porch? Pay for the pizza.
Man, that's
I
classic.
wasn't
He's
willing
making his
to
own
go
jokes
there.
about
No,
this.
that's well established.
All right. So this,
my.
yeah. So I think Devin's point is maybe that's a good episode or some extra content that we should do is talk about and put it on our Patreon pages to have a whole separate conversation about the Gen AI of music and so forth.
I can
So,
tell you that
yeah,
there
so-
is no human on earth that would create that fucking stupid yellow color. That has to have come from a computer.
He's jealous. He's jealous.
No, good
That's what it
Lord,
is,
no.
yeah. Because you have no fashion sense.
Thank God.
You can't make
Because
a computer
what,
jealous.
what kind
That's
of
all I'm
fashion
saying.
sense would I have? If I had fashion sense in this today's world, I would have like pewter blonde hair.
I have to admit something to y'all.
I would have a waist that's this big.
Paul, I've been giving you a hard time, but I actually like the hoodie.
See?
I actually
See?
dig it.
I'll get you one.
No,
I'll get you one from the brand. So
Awesome.
so
Good Lord, no.
yeah.
Well, thank you all for having me. I've
Oh, we're not done yet.
really enjoyed myself. I'm just saying.
You're changing.
I really
okay.
enjoyed myself.
Okay.
We
being-
have things to do.
Yeah, we got preempted. So before we wrap up here, all right. So we got another Tales from the Road here segment there.
All right.
A good road story here.
Yeah.
Other than the wall of jerky and bathrooms at Buc-ee's. What else you got?
Tallahassee. There was a urination issue with somebody in the band, and I know I had to go there because that's always generally what happens on the road. Other than we're just hungry,
Yeah.
you know. And we're the guys in our group are not 20 anymore, so they can't hold it as long as they would like. So, you know, there's times when you just need to just go. It's time to go, you know. And there's bottles, there's buckets, there's side of the road, there's cops to worry about, there's coyotes, for God's sakes, there's AI issues. Who knows what? There's beavers, you know. So the best thing you do,
And the worst is the AI beavers on the side of the road.
but the most difficult part is traffic. When you're stuck in a humongous traffic jam and it's time, what can you do? So
All right, it's not like you're pulling off the side of the road and because you're going to be doing it for
So
everybody
you
to
have
see.
to take your
Pulling up.
AI beaver and
3 out of the 6 guys had to it was time to go in the middle of traffic, pull off on the side of the road. And, what can you do? You turn your back, do your thing. That's what happens with bands. And Kevin knows, because God knows Kevin has peed.
no, I don't turn my back. I look.
He shows it to everybody.
I'm always disappointed.
Eye contact.
So it was just south of Tallahassee on I-10, and that's what happened. The traffic, apparently something happened at FSU, who knows what. But that's what caused the band to have to get out and perform unexpectedly on I-10.
That
So
brings
let me get this straight. What you're saying is there was a traffic jam,
Traffic jam.
and you got out and you peed on the side of the road.
3 of
and,
us.
And the traffic in general at the site of this amazing spectacle demanded a show right there and then.
They did demand a show, and there were horns that were honked, but we tried to avoid them because I'm not sure if the guys really wanted to give the full Monty.
this. I don't know. Do you understand what busking means? That ain't it.
So this is marketing 101. When you have a band full of men with giant penises, you need to,
Is that what he's saying?
you
I didn't
need-
catch
you-
that.
you need
Making a lot of assumptions.
You need to
Yeah.
make sure you diminish that point and just make it all about the music.
Here's
I
what
think that's what he
happened.
said.
Somebody in the group said, "Act like you're playing guitar, air guitar," and so we did that, and it didn't add to the horn honking. There was not extra horn honking with it, but it did happen. So fact. You want a fact check? Go
So
ahead.
these people are driving by a tour bus with what looks like tripoded humans, and he's trying to say that it's should be just like walked by and nobody should say anything.
I only wish that it were more entertaining than that, but that's basic human story.
So everybody all at the same time.
3 out of the 6. Yeah, the other 3, I don't know what they did. I'm not sure. They think they might have watched.
I am pretty sure they did, and no doubt they were wearing crazy yellow sweaters.
There was
And hold
probably
their phone,
yellow,
hold their
you know.
camera phones up.
Yeah, they were holding the camera phones up.
Yeah, but I'm just
Live
saying
streaming.
these things
Live
happen,
streaming.
and that's the road.
Yeah, that does put a whole new spin on the idea of live streaming.
Oh, my God.
When you have to pee on the side of the road.
And it was about that color.
And multiple guys at
Oh,
once. so it was
they're very dehydrated then.
multiple at once, so it was multi-track.
Yeah, so this is the live streaming sweater. You didn't know that we had this all planned ahead of time.
That's right. We knew you were going to tell the story.
So this is the streaming pee sweater.
Everybody
Paul-
lived.
So,
Now
Everyone lived.
What we need to do is we need to go ahead and we need to edit in Paul's bukkake video with the drums.
Jesus Christ. I don't think so.
No, it wasn't the drums. It was
De-
yeah.
supposed to do that.
Thank you. Yeah, I was waiting. Devin lost it when you said that because he didn't even get a chance to put the other
He couldn't even put
the other
the right
sound. The
button.
other sound.
I think I nailed it.
Yeah. So, oh Jesus.
come.
Yeah.
It was not a bukkake video. It was a rum pouring video. And
Oh, that video.
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Yes. So yeah. So speaking of real quick, that you've been
same thing anyway.
I don't know what the right word is.
Crying all of a sudden.
Admonishing or demonizing or whatever the sweatshirt here because it is still cold here in Florida.
It is painfully yellow.
So, but yeah, so it is another rum brand that it is actually hit. So
Nice.
Rock sound, hurt my eyes, rum.
Nice.
yes.
Rock sound, baby.
Yeah. So
Love it.
So you're getting paid to wear that thing? You should have told me before. I wouldn't have made so much fun of you.
well, I got to tell you everything.
It's engagement bait. It got you to talk about it.
There you go. Yes.
Yeah, but
Any publicity is good publicity.
Yeah, clickbait.
I'm regretting the fact that I did not bring my sunglasses into the studio because every time I look at you, it hurts.
It's like a sunrise.
I'm looking out for you. There you go.
There we go.
So,
I would say tequila sunrise, but it's not necessarily tequila.
No, it's my eyes hurt. Sunrise.
yes. This goes with the Kevin McLaughlin sunglasses
Oh, there
with
we
his
go.
Kevin McLaughlin.
Now your visage is not so objectionable.
There you go. You should just wear glasses all the time. He's a rock star.
Actually, you look like a Californian in that.
Oh, thank you. I'm not quite sure how to take that, but
Yeah, no,
sure.
I'm from
That's
LA,
like even
man.
harder insult.
Dude, I'm from LA. I'm okay with that because they're unique individuals and they like different colors that are
Yeah.
not the same.
See, well, Kevin only knows one color. It's black, obviously.
And white. No, two. And white.
Oh, okay. So,
But I've got orange here.
yes, your Harley Davidson colors.
Nice.
So as
like
before we wrap up here, Tim, do you also have another shout out there for your MVP, House of Wine Beer Spirits MVP of the week? So you got somebody you want to recognize,
I'm just going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to say I love Robert Plant from Led Zeppelin. I'm going to give him. He's in the news every once in a while. He's still a presence in rock and roll. So I'm going to go Robert Plant, Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
Good job. Excellent career. Still going. Still got a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So big influence growing
Yeah.
up, right? That's
Yeah,
something you
of
talked
course.
about earlier about Bottom.
I had two posters in my room growing up. There was a Rush one and a Led Zeppelin one, and that's who I grew up playing and who I worshipped. And,
So underneath, what were the posters that are underneath that you're hiding from your mom?
there was a kid. There was a kid with. Did you guys see this? Have this poster of a bowl of spaghetti spilled on his head. It was a little kid, like maybe like a 3-year-old, and he's looking in the camera like that, like this, with spilled spaghetti turned upside down on his head. No,
No.
am I the only one?
I thought you were going to go with like a Farrah Fawcett or,
I was too young
No.
for Farrah at the time.
Heather Locklear posters.
Yeah. I'm just learning about those girls now and their.
Oh. The internet, just like the North Koreans, you're finding out about things on the internet, finally.
I'm close to the North Koreans. I'm working on my cultural catch up. I'm going to leave it at that.
There's cultural ketchup.
There is.
Ketchup.
I said it.
I just got the regular ketchup.
That sounds like a band name too. Cultural Ketchup.
Ketchup.
Cultural ketchup.
That's how it works. We accidentally say it.
And boom,
Bam.
it's done. It's into
Bam!
It's into existence now.
Yeah.
Look, folks, don't need band names use AI to come up with generated band names. Kevin's got you covered.
And
Call me.
And kids, I want to make sure you understand. Don't go yellow. You can see I need eye protection. This is horrible. Do yourself a favor. Don't go yellow. What is that? Is that yellow?
It'll make the thumbnail stand out.
I love you, Paul. But your yellowness.
Yeah, how does
He's really strategic. Actually, it's an algorithm play.
It's unacceptable.
How is it looking in the video?
It's
It
unacceptable.
probably pops.
Yellow.
It pops.
It looks
Hurting-
yellow.
It's hurting my eyes. It's awful.
All right, I told you the alternative here. So we got to wrap things up, or I take the shirt off. So, your call.
No.
Should we do it? Should we take it off?
Yes. Take it off.
What happens at the end of the
geez.
show?
Take it off.
Now who's all
Yeah, baby.
Now who's all questioning his
Yeah.
things, huh? He wants me to take my
Yeah.
shirt off, folks? Really?
No.
Yeah. See, he's gonna
I'm
get.
going to.
I
I'm going to goad you into it, and then I'm going to imply editing to fix it.
No, we're. I'm gonna intentionally not do it because I don't want you to get too excited here.
I'm gonna put this in a color key it out and change it the color in post.
This is what happens when you come to the studio by yourself and unchaperoned.
Good
So-
Lord in heaven, we
Yeah.
have things that we can fix this, but That can't be fixed.
Is there a filter?
Sure, there's always filters.
That's what I was saying. In
I
post, I
filter her
can,
a couple of times, but she left.
Good one.
in post, you can you color like for a green screen, just select
Just
a different
have me-
color, just like yellow.
That's
no,
it.
no, I'm telling you, there is no technology that can fix that. It just won't.
AI hasn't come far enough yet.
Not yet.
Yeah.
So
And the key words with that are come and far.
Do not come.
Please don't.
All right. So anyway, Kevin, thanks for coming on the podcast
Thank
here.
you for having me.
So again, what's the website to check out what you got going on?
kgkelly.com for all of my shows. And I play in an Eagles tribute called The Long Run, and it's thelongrun.rocks.
Okay. Very cool. You got a domain by
I do. It's like,
.rocks?
dear God in heaven, please don't let me ever wear a yellow hoodie.com.
.rocks.
Jesus. Let's put this to fucking bed.
My name is Kevin McLaughlin. Search it. If you can't figure it out without an actual URL, then I don't need you.
That's a great way to attract fans there. So anyway,
He's looking for great spellers.
I don't like dumb people. Go away.
He wants to attract the right fans.
Yes.
all right, folks. So thanks for tuning into this podcast episode. Don't forget to check out the audio version of this podcast as well on Apple, Spotify, Pandora. Go ahead and follow that in our YouTube channel there. Go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and subscribe. Follow all of Kevin's stuff
if
here.
If it's still available, we're going to buy I'mAfraidOfYellow.com.
It's another name of a band name.
Search that, please, Devin. I'll buy it, I promise.
Anyway, so we ready to wrap this up so I can get put out of my
Are we
misery?
ready to wrap this up? That's what she said. I don't even want to talk to you right now.
All right. Anyway, so yes, so I'm Paul Robertson, and this is maybe my last podcast with this guy. So
Take it off. Take it
no,
off.
it's okay.
Take
It's okay.
it off.
So-
You didn't tell me it was going to be yellow.
No, that's all right. Yeah,
Patreon only.
yeah, Patreon. Yeah. There you
We're
go.
having a good time. Paul,
Yeah, so-
I totally love Paul. That's why I make so much fun of him, because he deserves it.
And
That's
we've
what-
been drinking.
Yeah.
No, I would still.
What?
Change Patreon to Paltreon. Paltreon. And it's
There you
just-
go.
It's all.
Paltry.
We need to check that. We need to check that domain also.
.com.
It's either all. It's all there. It's either all Paul related stuff, or it's a lot of chicken and turkey and stuff.
Well, we better buy. We better buy all these
Poultry.
domains before this thing.
Somebody
airs,
misspelled
or
it.
Well, yeah,
can't-
we need- well,
we
yeah.
won't be able to afford them after this thing airs.
Yeah, and become a Patreon subscriber so we can buy all these domains and so forth. So anyway,
Yeah, exactly.
all right. So let's close this out here. So.
I never thought it was yellow.com. Oh my, OMG, I can't see.
And I'm Paul Robertson. Thanks for tuning in.
Oh my God.